Good morning, viewers and listeners. A warm welcome to the Government Information Center on this chilly Monday morning. I am Grace Kavei, your host. As Namibia hosted the Commonwealth Trade Ministers meeting convened alongside the Commonwealth Business Summit in Windhoek last week, first of its kind in Africa, as part of the government initiative to attract investment and promote trade across board for economic prosperity. Now, today in studio on an investment opportunity, we have the Irongo Regional Council executives in accordance with the mandate of the region of implementing socio-economic development initiatives. Therefore, they are hosting the WIS Investment Conference on Friday, the 4th of July, 2025, at the Swakupmund Hotel and Entertainment Center under the theme, WIS in Transition, Mining, Tourism, and Beyond. We are also live on our social media platforms, Facebook at Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, YouTube channel at MICT Namibia. Now, to shed more light on this event, we are joined in studio by Honorable Kennedy Gausep, Regional Councillor of the Daures constituency. Welcome, Honorable. We are also joined by Dr. Mpenzeni Intalamo, the Chief Regional Officer of the Irongo Regional Council.
Thank you. Nice to have us here.
I'm glad to have you. Now, starting with Dr. Intalamo, what is the WIS Investors Conference and why is it significant for Irongo region and specifically to the Daures constituency?
Great. From the onset, the Irongo region has actually 7 constituencies, and Daures is actually the 7th constituency. And if you go through the history of the region, all the 6 constituencies actually have towns or more than one town. Daures constituency does not have a town, and that gives us a very good opportunity to elevate or to advocate for the elevation of WIS settlement becoming a local authority so that it meets the expectations of the residents. So this is precisely why we hosting the investment conference to attract investors. This is more like your vision settlement that is actually open for all sorts of investments to, for it to be at par with the other local authorities in the region. Yeah.
Now, Honorable Kwase, which sectors are of great focus through this investment initiative?
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, we in Daures constituency are very much blessed with the natural resources in and around WIS. Remember, the current only operational green hydrogen is in Daures constituency. And we are calling upon investors in the sectors like mining, because we are blessed with the natural resources. We are calling the retail sector, because the impact of influx of people in WIS is warranting for more retail shops in WIS. Agriculture is another sector. In and around WIS, we have vast lands, which the people can invest in agriculture. In crop farming, for example, there is more land available. We are talking about property development. As I said before, with the opening of the mine, there is more demand for housing in WIS. And we want investors to create to develop more properties in WIS. We can talk about banking sector. There is currently now banking activities in WIS. And as I said, with the opening of the mine, there are more opportunities for banking sectors. Tourism is another sector, because the highest mountain in Namibia is just maybe 30 minutes away from WIS. So actually it's a guideway to the northern part of the country. Once you exceed Irongo from WIS to Kunene region. So those are the sectors which we are thinking about: mining, tourism, banking sector, property development, specifically with the focus on housing and retail.
For the WIS community.
Yes.
Now back to Doctor. Why is this conference held in Swakupmund and not in WIS, as it is called the WIS Investors Conference? And also, maybe you can also tell us the key players behind this conference.
Right. To start with, we have 14 regions in the country, and each region actually has a regional capital. And in our case, Swakupmund is actually the regional capital of the Erongo region. Mm-hmm. Maybe one thing that I need also to bring to the attention of the viewers is the fact that the regional councils are actually founded through the Constitution, Chapter 12, I think Article 103. Mm-hmm. So with that establishment, regional councils actually are given that constitutional mandate to actually plan, coordinate, and promote socioeconomic developments in the region. Mm-hmm. Now, like I've said from the onset, OIS is actually a settlement in the Daures constituency. The Erongo Regional Council business is run from Swakupmund. OIS, as I've said, it's more like your virgin land that needs to be, developed. Mm-hmm. So what does that entail? Activities actually being planned, in collaboration with the constituency or the constituents of the constituency. That's why you have honorable here. Secondly, the government is trying its level best to bring that development to the constituency. There's already a third road that would connect Hentis Bay to Uis, and then from Uis to Korihas, and then to Kamanyab. Now, you can easily access Uis, but now the challenges that we have, that's why we are calling for an investors conference, because we want to develop Uis. Yes, so all the social or the amenities that can help us to run the conference successfully are actually in Swakupmund. So that is the reason why we are running this from our capital. That's where the regional council is hosted. Not to say, it wasn't befitting to have it in OIS. It is, but then to start with, this is actually the maiden investors conference. Hopefully, as we rebuild OIS, maybe the next investors conference will actually be in OIS. But then the investors should come on board themselves and then see how they can help us develop OIS and set up all these infrastructures that you need for you to have a conference of that magnitude. In terms of who are the key players, this is wholly owned, or it's wholly a responsibility of the regional council. The regional council is actually steering the whole activity with the support of the office of the governor, and then with the local authorities as well in the region. We have the political backing of the constituent councillors, or the regional council, if you like. That which is constituted by 7 councillors of the region. Yeah.
All right. Honorable Kennedy, what misconceptions do people have about WIS, and how is this conference going to help change the narrative?
Yeah, thank you, my sister. Historically, there was ISCO mine, which was mining in WIS. And when that mine closed down in around 1991, the inhabitants then from WIS also believed that nothing will come out from WIS again. And WIS become sort of a ghost town with housing infrastructure just standing there idling. But because the competitiveness of the 10 prices on the global market was very low, and the investors was not confident to invest in WIS to reopen the mine. But with the current mining giants, WIS 10 mine, and with the reopening of the WIS 10 mine, we believe that misconception which the people have then, that WIS will never grow, we want to do away with that one. We want to put the confidence of the people in WIS. Remember, WIS was a local authority already before it was downgraded because of some administrative issues. And remember, WIS is having one of the best infrastructure comparing to other smaller village councils in and around Namibia. And that conception that people have thought that we may not recover again, we want to do away with that one. The impact which we want to see after this investors conference, we want to see the local SME sector growing. We want to see more SME sectors coming up in WIS. We want to see that mentors are coming on board to assist our SMEs to grow. And also we want our people to do away with that conception that SMEs are confined to also fed cook vendors and cooker soaps and what is it, those small businesses. We want them to grow. We want them to enter the mining market. We want them to enter the tourism market. We want to see local tour guides from WIS. We want to see local SMEs who is doing waste management at the mining sites. We want to see local SMEs who is doing property development, partnership with the well-established property developers to locally be the contractors to construct the housing in WIS. So we want the people to graduate from thinking small to a bigger SME sector and take the opportunities provided by this investment conference, for example, and make use of the opportunities and environment, conducive environment provided by the government, in this case, the regional council. So we want them to grow. In fact, the regional council is currently in discussions with the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development to graduate WIS from settlement to a local authority. So once that opportunity arrives, we want our SMEs to be ready.
Great opportunity for the local entrepreneurs
Yes.
there. Now, on the role of the Ministry of Urban and Regional Development, Dr. Ntalemo, what kind of investor support or incentives are available through local or national government?
Thank you. Although I'm not going to be speaking on behalf of the ministry, but as a regional council, and we have that responsibility to make sure that local authorities in the region will also have a role to play in the investors conference. There are several incentives that are very much involved if we are to have this as a successful event. What it means is that the regional council at the moment, what we are doing is we are actually popularizing this event, and this activity we have this morning is one of those. So what is it that we are doing to bring in potential investors that can come to OIS? So what we are saying is that there are already incentives in OIS. The Honorable Councillor here talked about the mining industry, the tourism industry, that has so much potential. So what we are saying is that as a sub-national government, our role is actually to mobilize the key stakeholders that can come on the table and say, look, we are interested in mining, we are interested in tourism, we're interested in setting up a banking facility, we're interested in setting up shops. And again, the ultimate result of all these activities or of all these initiatives, we want actually to have OIS becoming a town where everyone can live, where all these incentives can actually be found. If I want to access my bank, I don't have to drive to the nearest town, which is Hendy's Bay or maybe Omaruru. I can actually get those services there. So we are, in a way, developing those incentives for the would-be investors who would come to this conference and those who would be willing to really take up the commitment to go with us in rolling out the development in the OIS settlement. Yes. So I'd say in a nutshell, those are some of the initiatives or the incentives that we are working towards. Yeah.
Okay, staying with you, Dr. Ntalemo, how does this conference align with Namibia's national development plans or Vision 2030?
Yes. Everything that first of all, I should say regional councils are actually part and parcel of the overall government structures. We subscribe to Vision 2030, we subscribe to the NDP6, and of late there's been, the NDP6 actually incorporates the SOPO implementation plan. These are some of the things that we're subscribing to. So we are not derailing our own agenda. So the UIS conference, it actually responds to the aspirations of the NDP6. Job creation is actually one of those. If you go through the general statistics, I think unemployment among the young people is very high. Issues around housing, issues around, of course, I've talked about employment, and all those other economic enablers that would actually ensure that we can provide these job opportunities for the young people in these towns. So those components, they actually very much align to the National Development Plan 6, as well as the Vision 2030. I think the mining industry is doing very well, and we want to actually have an industrialized country at the end of by 2030. The mining, you know, at some point in UIS, mining had actually ceased, but now mining activities are back, and this is where we are banking the success of making sure that UIS returns its position as it had before. But this may even be more than that, because there are so many avenues of economic activities and employment creation. Yes, the mines at the moment, I think they've absorbed so many of the young people right there. The green hydrogen that the Honorable Councillor talked about, all these are already incentives that are already there. So you can imagine there's a good start if we are to succeed with this endeavor. Yeah.
Now, viewers and listeners, don't forget to be part of this conversation on our social media pages: Facebook, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, and on our YouTube page at MICT Namibia. Back to our studio guest, Honorable Kausep. Are there any opportunities for the public-private partnerships anticipated after this conference?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, currently the government is advocating for triple peace, and only with private sector and government working together, we will bring development to any given local authority or any region. So we are also encouraging the private sectors to come on board, so that we must together develop UIS as a local authority and the Erongo region at large. So we want to see the private sectors calling the CRO's office non-stop for them to be eager to be part of this initiative. Because without a private sector, government can alone only not to be successful in creating employment and providing housing, which is currently a challenge for our Namibian people. So we are encouraging for triple peace to be part, to come on board.
Okay. Dr. Ntalamo, who are some of the prominent investors, business leaders or officials expected to attend this big conference?
Right. I wouldn't really want to mention them by their names, but all I know is that we've invited potential investors in real estate, potential investors in the retail business, potential investors in mining, potential investors in tourism. And of course, the political leadership, of course, will be there. We've invited our line minister, Honorable Minister. We hope that he will accept to be part of the conference. So as we speak, we have reached out to all those, specific targeted sectors, and we hope that they will respond positively. We are this is the second last week before the conference is held. So we still want to say, please, join, come on board. We want you, and there's just so much there.
Sure.
Yeah, so I would say, without mentioning their names, I think those industries are the ones that we are really targeting. The banking sector, most importantly. Yeah.
Okay, Honorable, is the conference open to the public, and are local residents, the exhibitors, allowed to take part, or is it exclusive to the registered delegates only?
I think that is more administrative question. Although the CRO have said we are giving our political support to the initiative, CRO will perhaps answer on that one. Who is invited? As far as I know, is it open for public? I don't want to contravene the administration, so perhaps the CRO can assist us on that one.
Okay.
I should say the conference is actually open to all Namibians. Yes. Even beyond the sectors that I've just mentioned. I think there's ICT these days that, there's conversation around how do we leverage on ICT. All those segments are actually more than welcome. What is going to happen is that we actually have a conference that starts that Friday morning till the end of the day. And then there'll be a gala dinner in the evening where we're actually going to raise funding. If we are to start up a local authority, yes, as government, we do have the resources, but we need supplementary resources to take care of other needs that the newly promulgated town may require. So the invitation is actually open to everybody, and of course, for the conference, you don't have to pay anything. But for the gala dinner, since it's a resource mobilization event, we obviously expect that even those that are registering for the main conference, they could also potentially be part of the partners that will join us for the gala dinner. And again, it's going to be in Swakupmund, and it's a Friday. So if you come on Friday, you have that whole weekend to yourself at the cost.
Okay. As we are nearing the end of our discussion in our studios, I would like to know, will there be live broadcast or online streaming for those who cannot attend in person?
What we have done, we've actually entered into an agreement with NBC. They will take care of the live broadcasting, and then we have a very active ICT division within the regional council that will help us to, stream live the event. But again, it's not late. It's an investors conference. If there's an investor out there who specializes in streamlining of events of that nature, surely we wouldn't bar them from coming, because that's where the investment actually starts. So we would really love to invite all the other stakeholders, particularly in the ICT field, to join. And we have a very good relationship with the Ministry of Information, and we are banking on their support as well. We do have a division that takes care of MICT at regional level, and they are actively going to be involved. So we're looking forward to having an event that is not only going to be that's going to be confined to television only, but that in the residents or the nationals within the country and beyond can actually follow the proceedings from on social media platforms. Yeah.
And final question, how can those interested in investing or learning more about WIS in the Dowries constituency stay informed? Are there any websites or any contact individuals, especially regarding the conference?
Yeah, actually, those in and around WIS can get more information from the settlement office. Besides the settlement office, the CRO's office, and the director of planning's office, which is assisting with the organization of this investors conference, they can approach them, and they can get more information from what will happen on Friday, and how they can come on board on Friday. But CRO can give also more light on the whole logistical arrangements of the investors conference, and who can be contacted, and how can they be assisted.
Yeah, to supplement Honorable Kennedy's assertion, we do have information available on the Irongo Regional Council website, www.erc.com.na, and actually people can call with designated officials. Yeah, they can call our landline 064 410 5700, 064 410 5700. And we have our social media platforms where we keep posting things just to generate the interest from the general public. That they can, if you log on, if you go on Facebook, for example, and you type Irongo Regional Council, it should be able to give you the information. We are available on TikTok, on Twitter, on X. It's no longer Twitter. We are available on X as well, and also by word of mouth. Yes, we are encouraging residents. This is actually a golden opportunity for us as a country. Yes, investment does not only mean a certain bank coming in. There are people out there that are successful in businesses, so they can also, find their way and be able to participate. So there are various platforms that we are actually using to reach out to the communities or for people to actually get information on what exactly is going on in terms of the registration and deadline for registrations and all that. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I just want to supplement what the Sierra web said. Sierra web said before that for the investors, the conference is free. Now, knowing our people, they will just come that Friday morning to Swakupmund Hotel and Entertainment Center. But it's very much paramount important that they must register with Irongo Regional Council so that we must know who is coming to the investment conference. So it's very, very much important that the people must register. Called the CRO's office or those who are designated to help with the planning and logistics of the investors conference. For them to be registered is very important, so that the people must not come up Friday morning to investment conference and then later say, no, we wanted to come to investors conference, but we have been chased away. So we don't want to, we want to avoid those type of things. So let them register, please.
Okay. Any final remarks, Doctor?
Final remarks from my end here. We are doing this for the very first time, and we want to make sure that it's a successful event. It has required a lot of planning, and really, ultimately, we want to see the results. So what I should say here is that I know there's an executive in that office right now in the banking sector, and you're watching this. Please call us, call the Irongo Regional Council, and then book your space. There's a potential investor somewhere following this conversation on radio, or they're driving, or they're accessing it through social media. All we are saying is that we want it to be a success. Imagine if this was going on in Kara's region, for example. I think the Irongo region would find a way to support that event, because it actually responds, like you rightly said from the onset, that how does this conference actually fit into the National Development Plan 6 and the Vision 2030. So yeah, if you're sitting in Oshikuku, in Okongo, and you think you have a role to play in this conference, I think it will be good. All we need is actually an investment in OIS. There's so much. I think the Honorable here tried to unpack a little bit of what OIS is all about. But if those who would follow our website, we're actually trying to, we've posted a video, a snapshot of what you can find in OIS. That's more like a precursor to the conference itself. So all I should say is that we are inviting everyone from all the sectors come, and it's actually in Swakupmund, and I think that is actually your #1 resort town, and sure, you can do so many things after the conference as well. Yeah.
Honorable Kennedy, your final remarks.
Yeah. Once again, let me supplement what the CRO have said. We are calling on all the investors, specifically in mining industries and tourism industries and retail and again property developers. There is a demand, huge demand of housing in Uis. You cannot imagine that. 2-3 years ago, that the number of people staying in Uis have tripled. So there is a demand of housing. The land is available. We only want the property developers on board to come and supply us with housing in Uis. Secondly, the upgrading of a road linking Erongo and Kunene is almost completed. And once that road is completed, it's just about 30 kilometers to Uis now. And once that road is completed, those people who are traveling from the coast to the north will reroute to that road because that road is shorter with around 150 kilometers, reaching Umusati. So there will be more traffic passing Uis. So this is an opportunity now for you to go and invest in Uis. You can come up with a service station, you can put up your retail shops, you can put up whatever along the road or whatever inside the Uis, or even, as I have said, overnight or guest house, for example. You can put up a guest house, you can make more money. Your investment will yield fruits after 2-3 years because the mining sector is booming. Around Uis, there is another mining development. As I said, the green hydrogen is just 90 kilometers from Uis. Swakupmund is 1 hour drive from Uis, passing through Uis to connecting Etosha, Kunene. So there are opportunities. So we are calling upon all the investors, all the people with companies to approach the CRO's office so that we must assist the government in reaching its goals. And lastly, for the people of Uis, and those people of Uis who are staying in Swakop, Walvis Bay, this is the opportunity for you to be part of this great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to our studios. Namibia, great opportunities there right in Uis. Thank you for shedding more light on this significant event. I wish you all the best with the preparations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers and listeners, that is all we had for you today. Do join us again for another impactful session. From me and the GIC crew, it's goodbye.